Well, good afternoon. I'm Tyler Jackson, pastor of Newcastle Church of Christ. And every Tuesday I do a blog post for our church and for anyone else who reads them called Tuesdays with Pastor Tyler. And so I thought that this week we would try doing a video blog so that it would be a different format and maybe just a little bit different. And we'll see how it goes. So what I wanted to talk about today, whether I wrote a blog or did a video, is I wanted to talk about something that's been on my heart ever since this past weekend. Friday and Saturday, I was involved in a wedding for my brother Drew and Alexis, now his wife. And I love being in weddings. I love doing weddings. And my favorite part of a wedding typically is what people call the first look. Now, if you don't know what a first look is, what it is when the bride and the groom see each other for the very first time that day. And it is an astonishing, powerful moment. I remember seeing my wife now for the very first time on our wedding day. I just crumbled into 1,000 pieces when she walked through that door. It was an amazing, intense moment. I remember seeing Jacob see Cassie for the very first time at their first look, and he did the same thing. He saw her, and he just began to weep at her beauty and how powerful that moment was. And I saw the exact same thing with Drew and Alexis this past Saturday. I was standing up on a hill so I could see in through the doors to see my little son asleep on the back row of chairs in our church. And from that hill, I could feel the intensity of the moment. I could feel the intensity as Drew was being led with his eyes closed down the hill to see Alexis for the first time that day. And I knew that when he saw her, he was going to crumble like myself, like Jacob, like many brides and grooms before. And I guess the thing that it made me think about is every marriage, every wedding is supposed to be a picture of Christ and his church. That's what Paul teaches us in Ephesians chapter 5. Husbands exist to put Christ on display, and wives exist in a marriage to put the church on display in that particular way. And as I was thinking about the first look and what it means and how it is experienced and felt, my mind went to 1 John chapter 3, and this is what John tells us. Chapter 3, verse 2. He says, "Beloved, we are God's children now, and what we will be has not yet appeared. But we know that when he appears, we shall be like him, because we shall see him as he is." So when I think about a first look, and I think when you see or experience one or think about one, I think that we as Christians, I'm talking now for Christians, the first look for an unbeliever into the face of Jesus will be totally different. But for a Christian, when we see Jesus face to face for the very first time, seeing his beauty and his glory unveiled to us, we are going to marvel and be blown away, and we also will crumble in joy, knowing that we get to spend the rest of our lives with him in glory and in pleasure forevermore. So today, during your lunch break, while you're driving, while you have time alone, consider, if you are a Christian, what it is going to be like seeing Jesus face to face, our first look. And if you're not a Christian this morning, I beg you to consider Jesus Christ and his gospel so that you can experience the first look the way that we will. Have a great day. I'll be praying for you all.